next things. Simple, we created what is a class, what is a car, what are the primary constructors, what are the secondary constructors, and other things. Okay, let us start new thing, which is nothing but your inheritance. How do you achieve the inheritance? If you see class BMW extends class car, now it's giving me error because car is having one primary constructor. Change, add something like this, right? And it is saying that make car open. There are two types of the classes, sealed class and the open class. Sealed class, which is not, is that class which cannot be overridden or which cannot be subclassed, is nothing but what your sealed class is. Then you would be having another class called as open class. This open means that can be extended, that can be subclassed. See what we did? Your parent is having one parameter. Parent is having one parameter. Right? Parent is having one parameter which is nothing but this. You have got this and you have written like this, PZ. And this PZ you have passed to what? Car constructor. Typically, we did this in the C++. This is in the style of more over the C++. Right. Now this can have its own fields like private. Remember that indentation should be like this, PZ and the int. Then you can have private val, right? And you can say speed is of type float, like this. That speed doesn't need to be passed here. Speed is a property of what? BMW. You don't need to pass speed over here. Means if you have fun, what the speed? What's the speed is? Then we can have some logic like this. It should be where. We can have some logic like this. PZ into SPD. Right, PZ into SPD. Make it private. PZ. Well, PZ is not available here directly. Where PZ. So your class would be having, BMW would be having two parameters. So whenever you create object of BMW, if you can say val BMW is equals to new, sorry not new, BMW, and at that time you can pass the price 45 and then you can pass the speed 900. Like this. It's a float. That's why you need to pass F or .00. And then you can say println. So speed is dependent BMW dot what's SP? Speed is this and price is what you can say dollar what's dollar BMW dot what's price. So what's price is coming from the parent and what speed is coming from child. This is how your typical inheritance will work here, like this, simple. Yes, in the constructor. This you are talking about. This, where pz is equals to, yes, this is the constructor calling. At the time of constructor calling, you are passing pz and you are passing spd. Huh? Here, see, your parent needs the value. Parent needs the value. You are saying BMW is a car, right? You are saying BMW is a car. You need to pass it. Some value you need to pass it. But that is to here. Means you are saying you don't need to pass this. Like this. Then you need to assign some value directly here is equals to 56. Well, so what? The something different. The floating point literal does not. So it is considering the pz itself, right? Kotlin optional parameters. Under this you will, can you see this? Int is equals to 0 is equals to b size, which makes it optional, right? But still named arguments, these are called as some named arguments, like this. You can pass it. Can you see this? This is a null safety. This is something different. This is a null safety. Infix keyword. Now what does the infix keyword does? See, note that infix function always require both the receiver and the parameter to be specified. When you are calling a method, means you have to pass it. When you are calling a method on the current receiver using the infix notion, you can need this explicitly, right? If you can see this add abc, infix is something like this. Now there are multiple variations, right? Too many variations are available in the Kotlin that you need to see on your own. Now here you can say infix, and then you need to pass some parameter. Nm is of type int. When you say infix, right? When you say infix, so let's assign. I'm not going to make your life more difficult, right? Here you need to pass this, or say BMW and what's SP 89. Can you see how do you call it? Infix. See, Kotlin is vast, very vast. It's not like that we are going to cover everything. Whatever needed, that things are we would be covering. But whenever you would be looking for some source codes on the GitHub written by someone else, and suddenly you find the infix keyword over there, you need to come to this doc page, and here you need to see what do you mean by infix. Can you see what do you mean by infix here? How do we have written, how do we have called it? BMW is a variable or the object, WhatsApp is a function, WhatsApp is a function, and 89 is a parameter. So calling this and this are same. Infix. This is the use of the infix, but this much granular details we won't be needing in the Android. So there are huge possibilities in the programming. You can do lot many things here, but I'm not going to cover everything. Needed Android, whatever things we are needing, that we would be covering. Otherwise, Kotlin would be full 1 month course, right? That's fine. Let's restrict ourselves to some place. You will find lot many possibilities from the documentation. So now it's your responsibility, right? Whenever you sit here, go through all these things, right? Good. Now if you can see how we have created like this many functionalities, how we have extended, right? That's not possible. Skipping the first parameter is not possible, because that's required to create the object. You need to do something like this, right? Now how do you write the interfaces? Right? Now see, after the BMW we can have interface, right? GPS you can say, and inside the interface you can have the function, you can say locate. Function name would be the locate, right? You would be getting the locations, locate. Now how do you create object of this? Either you need to use the lambda, see val gp is equals to, right, any object. We have seen this, right? And you can name it. This is the object of GPS. This is the GPS object and the GPS, and you need to override the members. Can you see? Well, you can implement as well. I'll write this here, and you can implement as well. After the class you can say GPS, sorry, it's a comma, GPS, and you need to override. Alt enter, remember that, go on the error and alt enter, you would be getting the locate function here, right? So you can either extend it, implement it. Remember that if you want to extend and implement, first thing you would be writing the classes, and after that you would be writing the interfaces. So it's not like that if you write first interface and then classes. I suppose that won't work. GPS and car, PZ, well, working, that's not an issue. First your interface and then the classes, that's working. This is one way of creating object of your GPS, and this is another way. Now if you see where GP is equals to BMW, where GP is of type GPS. Now see, are you getting this? GP is of type GPS. Then I suppose you don't need this as well. You need it for creation of the object. You need it, this. Well, you can represent GP in the terms of lambda as well. GP is equals to lambda or this object, right? And sorry, one function. Well, this won't work. It is needing any object of GPS. This would be needing object of GPS. So either you can create object of GPS like this, or you can implement GPS, BMW to the GPS like this. So BMW is implementing what? GPS. And you are simply assignment. You are doing some assignment here. So where GP is of type GPS is equals to object. Either you can create like this, or traditionally you can implement like this, or you can implement like this. See this much. Now if you go to the Kotlin here, try Kotlin, you would be getting many interfaces. Hang. Interfaces. How many of you are using Windows? Okay, license copy. All you have license 1. License. Convert. If you don't have license 1, convert it to Ubuntu. Right. Okay. Now you can see interface, properties. You can write the properties here. This is how you will write the interfaces, something like this. Objects, many possibilities are there, but this is enough for you now, right? I'll not create any kind of burden on you, right? So is that okay for practicing today? Little bit new things you have. So today practice this much, then tomorrow I would be starting with the null safetyness. You can read here. What is a null safetyness over here? How do you handle the nulls? That is very prime in this. So today you would be creating interfaces objects, you would be creating the classes, you would be extending it, you would be implementing it, you would be trying with some more things here, right? You can try more things here, ask me the questions, right? And practice this much. That's too important for the day. What are the infix? What do you mean by default parameters? And many more things. See, in the Kotlin there will be only one constructor. So it's not like the overloaded constructors. Not necessarily. You can do everything in one constructor, right? So there are some functions as well. If you go to the mouse and you can say myfn or say fun myfn, right? Var arg, variable arguments, and you can say string is of type string. So multiple strings you can pass here, and you can say println string. This string can be loop, this string can be one function. I'll show you. So let's create mouse object inside the main. Why you don't need multiple constructors? See, I can pass one string, say hello. I can pass dot myfn as many as 1, 2, but you have written only one parameter over there, 1, 2, 3. Why do you need the constructors? Var args, variable arguments. Even you can iterate it, you can iterate here if or for str in string, fancy version of the for, and you can say print ln str. So that can be 1, that can be 2, that can be 3, that can be any, or even that can be an array, ms dot fn, and you can pass string array of 1, or fine. For this you need to make some another arrangement, or even without function, that is also possible, without parameter. Is that cool? Try this much today. Tomorrow I am going to cover much details of the null safety. Null safetiness is very important in the Android. We'll see that tomorrow. Okay.